Beta 23.3, there's a heap of stuff that's actually been added. So guys, if you haven't had time to check out the beta, I think it's really important that you look at this one because this is pre-release, which means basically it'll be coming out soon. All right, I'm with Grant. Grant, what we might do is start with steel frame. A lot of our users have asked for it, and I'd like you to start showing just a couple of things on steel frame. So maybe just draw 2 walls and put a window in or something like that. So first thing you do is you go down to framing.
Yep, to framing. Select here, go to the steel option.
Yep.
Then update all your options in here. You'll have your steel materials in here that we've got. Select all your materials, go down here, make sure everything's all good, and then we can start drawing.
Yep.
So just draw 2 walls here. I'm drawing the wrong way. I'm pressing insert.
Okay, down arrow 2 is what you just did too, which is, so down arrow allows you to justify internal, external. Right. Insert or down arrow, guys.
Yep, so insert will flip the direction, then down arrow will change at what point you're drawing the wall from.
Let's zoom in on that frame. Right, you can see it's all C-section now. Can you just quickly make one of them a gable?
Yep.
Now, this will still work in the Takeoff, guys. We are working on an export that enables it to be used with a CNC machine. So if you guys are using CNC cutting machines, it'd be nice if you gave us some feedback to see if we can help you out. Right, so basically this is the way that steel frames. Now, guys, just to be clear, I'm not a steel frame expert. To be honest with you, I don't really even like them, but I know you guys do. Add a window, Grant. Maybe a trussed overhang.
Yep, so trust here.
Yep. Okay, let's have a look at that. Can you just turn your cladding and stuff off so we can look at it from both sides? Just create some scenes. Guys, I'm not sure what stage you create scenes, but it's really important to create scenes early on in the piece because it enables you to work faster. Go to structure. Okay. It also makes your computer run quicker. So if you've got a computer that lags a little bit and you create your scenes, basically we're dealing with less geometry. So if Grant went to all now, they'll see all, that'll do. Yep. It takes a lot more for SketchUp to actually show us that than what it does to actually show the structure. So just a little tip there. Right, so that's our steel framing. You can also put battens off the side of the steel frame as well. Do you want to do that? So I'll explain it a little bit. But so steel framing, and you've got battens, and this is probably going to be. That's all right. Just do it anyway. Okay, he's done them on the inside. Guys, if you're in Australia, you'll probably know that the code has changed and really having problems getting steel batten walls to steel frame walls to comply with the code. So you have the option to choose timber or steel battens. Grant, there was a little bug that we just picked up there. Was that just not on the outside of the wall, or?
Just with this wall type.
Okay, just that wall type.
This is a brick veneer wall.
Okay. Oh, right, it's a brick veneer wall. So if you went to clad wall, you'd have the option to add it. And guys, you're going to need that. We're also working on aligning battens to studs. So for instance, if you've got a drop off, you're going to want your timber batten to probably go to your drop off, but we'll have an override as well. So either your timber batten works to your drop off, or it will work to your step down for your concrete slabs or joists. Yep. Just put the timber batten in there, mate. If it's not there yet, we will be adding it. So is it there, Grant? Can you add timber battens to that wall?
So I added steel battens to that wall just to show the steel on both sides.
Yep.
Scroll back down. External is this one here.
Yep.
We can add in timber. They're all on the same list.
Add in timber. Yep.
So
make it a 70. Some of that we're used to seeing. It kind of looks weird.
Yeah. This one here.
That'll do. Yep. Okay. Righto. So basically, if it was a vertical batten, you could get that to comply, or you can insulate in between it. You're not getting conductivity between the external and internal, and I think you'll find that most steel frames these days actually have to have battening on the frames to get them to comply. So anyway, that's why we did it, guys. If you're using steel frame, it is there. Grant, have we done trusses yet, or is that still in the works?
Still in the works. Okay.
All right. So trusses will also be done in the future. Give it a test out, guys. Any feedback, much appreciated. So a couple of the wall types we added, battens to the internal only and double internal masonry wall types. So
So double masonry.
And the reason being is similar, so you can get your, a lot of this comes from Passive House guys that were doing, special insulated walls. Just draw it, mate, when you can. No, don't just use timber flooring, mate.
Timber, this is a double masonry, so we won't see.
Oh, okay, here, right. Just the top plate, you'll see. Yep. So this type of battening actually enabled us to get the R values or the insulation values required for walls, especially with Passive House. What other walls do we have there? We got double internal, and double masonry wall types. Yep. So sometimes you're going to use a double internal as a party wall, and getting the right information on your party wall, it was important. So you can see that we've got that battened as well. And you can save these as vignettes, guys. So if you're doing this standard, you can go create as a component, right click, watch the vignette video, guys. This is not a tutorial. It's just telling you some of the major things we've done. And by the way, there's more than 100, probably 150 different changes in this to other things. A lot of them are bug fixes or improvements in usability. For instance, the down arrow for justifying a wall left or right. But yeah, just give it a good solid working. Try and break it if you can. All right, the next thing is ability to specify which materials are... Okay, renovation and extension. Guys, I've been asked this question a lot of times. Now, Grant, just slow down. Right, renovate, remodel. Show us where that is. There it is, yep.
Right.
Okay, click it. Okay, so what is clicked is renovation, remodel. And what that's done is it's actually given the ability to click on a demolished material or replace material. So, for instance... You keep going with that, Grant. Just draw that, and we'll just do a takeoff just of one. So what he's done is he's demolished and replaced that. So right-click, takeoff selection. So the material that he replaced was the masonry. Therefore, it's quantified the masonry and also said how much has got to be removed. So one's a purchase item and one's a labour item. Throw it in the bin. That's important, guys, and because... Let me just grab your screen for a sec, Grant. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so if you're building a house and you had multiple walls and you only need to replace the bricks or the cladding or the internal lining or something like that, the benefit of this is that you can just replace it, quantify it, and it's still locked. So I can't move that wall. You notice it's red, but it gave a quantity out of it. That's a big advantage for you guys doing renovation, extension, remodel work. So again, we go to the wall tool, and I'll just move this over just a touch because my mug's in the way. Renovation, remodel, click it here. Obviously, if it's going to be demolished, that means you're going to rip the whole thing down. But if you are going to just change some materials, again, go to your materials. Inside of your materials, choose which ones are going to be replaced or demolished. Right, so just say the gyprock on this one here, and go submit. Now I should only get gyprock in my takeoff. Takeoff, selection only. Internal finishes. Right. You can see it's under replace internal lining. Right. So you're going to remove and replace because I click both to give you the quantities, and therefore you'll get your remodeling extension reno business happening really, really quickly, and I think it's going to be an advantage. Grant, are they on a layer, or how can you turn those off individually?
I don't think they're on a layer just yet.
We may do it. Look, let's just get some feedback from our users and see what they say. So this brickwork here was...
This would have been 19A brickwork previously. So it's still in the original existing layers.
Okay, righto. So we might change that, guys. We'll be open to some feedback on that one.
One thing with that feature as well, it's not just in the wall tool. It's in a bunch of different, like the roof tools and things like that.
That's a good point. Yep, because you might be just replacing the roof. If you're just replacing half a roof, guys, you're going to need to use the skillion tool to draw half of the roof you're going to replace because we can't distinguish on a new roof. But I would probably draw a roof. I'd probably do something like this. Rectangle. Let's just say this is a hip roof. Create roof. So this is going to be an existing roof. Existing. Go submit. Right. But now if we had to replace a part of this roof or, one of these sides, it'd be right-click, roof, remove face, isn't it, Grant?
Correct. About halfway down there on your right.
Yep, remove roof face. Right, and now you can actually see that that's done. And what it's also done is opened up the skillion roof tool, which enables me to do, and this is going to lead into something else as well in a second, which I think you guys will like because it allows you to edit the skillion roof tool. So I could bugger this up straight away by not turning my overhangs off. Right, so yeah. And usually here you'd have to push delete, remove, control. Now I'm not going to push control here. I'm just going to quickly get this done. Right. And you can see what the problem was is that my overhang was incorrect. Now, if I actually go under here and go right-click roof and edit overhang fascia details, I can now change which side I want to do. Now, as you would know, guys, this would be a huge pain in the bum to do before. I'm just going to make this 1 mil because I don't think I can go 0, can I, Grant, or can I?
You can go 0.
Right, you can see that I reduced that. Obviously, I didn't want to reduce that one, but if I did, I'd go again, roof, edit roof overhangs, and I'll make it a 0. Right, and again, I do the same thing, keep on going. Right, so this is a huge time saver when you're doing sloping or skillion roofs. Right. Maybe that was 2 different pitch roofs, I'm not sure, or I didn't draw it right, but regardless, that's how to do it, guys. But what I probably should have done is with this is actually a new roof, so it's not so bad. So, but I could have edited the roof, and I could have just replaced one thing. So, for instance, if we went to renovate, remodel, materials, selections, and finishes, and I can just replace just the tin, and therefore my fascia and gutter would stay. I think that's kind of important. Let's just check that. Right-click, Takeoff selection. Roofing. And now you can see I'm just replacing one part of the roof. It's a bit of a game changer for you renovation extension guys. I think you'll really like it. I'd like to hear some feedback if you've got any. We are still doing a little bit of work on it, but I think it's ready to be released. Grant, you got any objections to that one being released?
Nope, not at all.
No. All right, good. So that was basically, that's the roof skillion overhangs, guys, and that works whether you're going to do it as replacing a roof like this or whatever it is you're going to do. That one there works. Hip and valley battens for metal corrugated roofs. It's going to be quicker to draw another roof here, isn't it?
I think so, yep.
Right. This one here kind of was a bit of criticism we got when we're doing videos from the hardcore roofing guys. Create roof. I'm going to move this over to here because it's just bloody way. And I'm just going to create a new roof. Right. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my battens and my rafters. So triple click, get it all blue, right click, roof framing, create roof framing, which has been there for some time. However, now we have the ability to add I'm going to put in underpillings just because I can. We got our batten spacing and our batten offsets, which we don't have these marked out just yet. But you'll notice if I've chosen metal roof, it means I'm going to have a batten offset from my ridge. And 160 is usually standard, but depending on the size valley boards or ridge capping you're creating, that will actually enable you to edit that. Right, and as you can see, we now actually have battens that actually go up so we can screw our ridge cap too. On a tile roof, that wouldn't happen, guys, so you would choose tile roof if you're doing tile. But your valleys actually will happen on tile roofs. So,
and one thing to note there as well, they're tagged separately from the other battens, so you know what your valley battens are and your hip battens and your ridge battens are.
Right. So if I went to take off selection only, what you're saying is?
Yep. So wanted to double check advanced framing is ticked. It is ticked. Good.
Yep.
I think it's, yep.
Yep. So I don't need to worry about that. Framing. Edit, see more.
See creeper, come on, creeper rafter. Must be right down the bottom of the list. There you go, valley rafter.
There we
all
go.
those.
Yep. Right, so that is there. You guys, you can change the names of these as well. Is that correct, Grant?
Yep.
Okay, so and they can go through and change the names of these items to suit what you call them. We can't. Everyone around the world seems to call things slightly different. You guys, you can send a cut list of this as well, a cut and an order list. So export order lengths, cut and order list, which basically means what length of timber did you order it from and what you're going to cut it out. So if you've got guys on site, they know not to cut the 4.2s into 2.1s. Grant, I'm going to let you take over. I'll just close this down for you. Mate, if we want to put in a skylight, it's always been a pain in the ass. Can you show us this cool feature we've just added? So any roof penetration, I'll just talk while Grant's drawing. Right, you can now go through. So what Grant did, you just go outside the roof again, Grant, so we can see that. Just go escape and get outside of it altogether. Just draw a quick chimney, mate, or a rectangular prism through it so we can see what's going on.
Well, there's a
Don't worry about
space
that.
on there, doesn't matter. Oh, didn't like it. Give me a sec.
No, because it's drawn on something else. Yep. Right, just move that into somewhere just at the end of the roof or something. We'll get the idea. There we go. Yep. Okay, so if you had something going through like a Velux or a chimney or something like that, this is a pain in the ass. So Grant, show us how to do it.
Yep, so click into the roof.
Yep, so double click, triple click until you get one thing blue. Is that correct?
Correct. Until you get down to the individual beams or rafters.
Yep.
Right click. So then we select to split it.
Yep.
What you can also do, before I do that, you can do multiple at once. So if I select
that's handy,
two by holding shift.
Yep.
Right click, beams, split beams. And then this, same as how the split beam tool works.
Yep.
Works the exact same. So we find the plane we want to do it to.
Yep.
Say to here.
Yep.
Left click.
Go around the other side.
On the other side.
Well. Yep.
Same thing. Left click. Press enter.
Okay.
Now I've got hide rest of model on my computer here.
Yep.
So I can look in just this section.
Yep.
I can now select both of these two, click delete. And now, as I just moved that, you can now see I've got the cut in here.
Yep.
Now I've obviously got the battens going through. I'll turn off the hide rest of model.
Yep.
Select the two battens, and it's the exact same process. Split them, select your plane, all your planes, hit enter. Again, I'll hide rest of model.
Yeah.
Come back, unhide, and there we go. We've now got it.
And then you've got your underpurl. But yeah.
Yep.
And when, so sorry, do you want to add more to that?
I was just going to say, and then from this point onwards, you can then use the beam tool or some other tools in conjunction to then add in the other framing around your openings here, for your skylights or for chimneys or whatever.
Just quickly draw another beam in there and add it to the roof.
Yep. So, beam.
I usually have a keyboard shortcut, guys, for beam. It's B.
Yep. I'd also say do this as well.
Hold on, just slow down. My head's in the way there. Yep.
Oh,
okay, so
yep.
Okay, so takeoff tag. What is this? What is this you're doing?
So this are the guys that are wanting it to be, things specified in specific areas. So if you want it to estimate as a specific member type and then group together with other things, it'll then do so. So if I want it to be, might say do a batten just for now.
Yep. Good idea.
Top of the list.
You're gonna need a batten at the bottom of the chimney there. So
Yep. I'll just do it here.
Yep.
Just say it's that. You can flip it and do whatever, but then you can move it down.
Yep.
Into its spot. Say it's about there, for example. You can do that all the way around.
Yep.
And then what you can do is, once you have that selected, select the rafters, go right click, roof framing, add object to roof framing.
Yep.
And now when you do a takeoff of this, it'll estimate them all together. So if we go into framing in here, this is one I just added, I believe.
Yep.
And if I had named it as test, you would have been called test. But that's the one we just added in there. So it's now grouping itself together so you know where everything goes.
Yep. So guys, this is about virtually building a project, and that's what we've been banging on about for so long. We're so close to being 100% through virtual construction that it's not funny. We're a big step ahead of the major competitors that are in the industry that are so-called BIM programs, but they're actually hollow shell drafting programs. So yeah, I think this is a huge benefit to enable us to move forwards. The only thing that we are yet to work on, and that is, if you just go all there, Grant, is to cut a hole through the roof. We will be working on that next. But at the moment, to do that, you do need to use a rectangle tool to do it and delete those faces, but we will be getting onto that one lickety-split. Right. What else have we got? Is there anything else you want to touch on that, Graham?
Nothing on that. One thing I just thought of back with the skillion stuff.
Yep.
So I know previously we had issues where people couldn't, their users weren't able to have different overhang sizes. I know you sort of touched on that, being able to reduce it, but this will allow you to have 0 or the common overhang, and then you might have one that has a.
Are you talking about on a hip roof or a skillion roof?
Oh, a skillion roof. So if you've got, just to make my life a little bit easier when I'm drawing this, if you've got this, for example, this sort of shape, but maybe this edge here of the skillion is a larger overhang.
Yep.
You can just have one as a different overhang. You don't have to go.
Just quickly show us, mate. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yep.
Yep. So do this. So it's skillion. Let's quickly draw this up. I'm just going to keep it as the default size.
Yep.
And this still will work as well if you do.
Okay. So at the moment he's got 600 overhang all the way around. Yep.
Correct. Yep. And one thing to note as well, even though I had, if you had have drawn with a 0 overhang on one side, this edit, I had it existing, that's not going to affect it. But even though I had it as that, if I had it as 0, this will overwrite that. So you can then change it after the fact as well. It doesn't take that original value.
Yep. Okay.
So
change it, make it 1800.
1800. So you can now have independent sizes of this one here to do the same thing. Roof, edit overhang on this edge here. It might just be 0 on this one or whatever it might be. And we can then start really molding around what we want to do. You can do other things as well. Basically the same sort of options what you can do when you're drawing it, like removing the material. So say, for example, there was a wall butting up, if there's butting up to walls, remove the material, submit, it removes the facial material. So for the guys estimating, they're not getting that additional quantification.
That's a big benefit. The only thing you can't do, guys, you can't go minus figures there.
Yeah, from the original point, can't go back past it.
That's correct. So if you ever need to do that, just move the line in. Yeah. All right, good. Is there anything else you want to touch on roof? That's good. We're going to need to move on. Everyone's busy.
No, nothing with the roof. I just thought of that just then.
Okay, good. All right, so we've got slab tool, reinforcement in the slabs and footings. We've spent a lot of time developing this, guys. Grant's going to show you. Okay, let me move my head out of the way again.
Oh, I'll move this up a bit.
All right, it's done. Yep.
So we got that slab on the reinforcement. So we've got the reinforcement here.
Yep.
Setting in different values, whether you want 1 or 2 layers.
Have you got images in there yet? I think you have. Just hover over the hover text.
Yep. Text, 2 layers, offsets,
yep.
Whether the slab reinforcement and whatnot.
Yep.
So that's all good.
And you got your footing details as well. Yep.
So do this and do transparent mode so we can see it all together.
Can I just grab your mouse
for
a second? Just 1 second. I'll move my head again because I'm on the other side of the screen now. Materials. Guys, the best way to deal with this. Tags, go to floor. Turn your slab off. You can see your reinforcement there. Right. Or what Grant showed was clear. That's really handy. Do you want to add some footings in underneath that, Grant?
Yep. So what I'll do, I'll just do it underneath. I find it's easy to do it underneath here.
Me too. Yep.
So if you right click on the slab, go to custom footing tool, add footing.
Yep. You
can make these things in here. I'll also add the reinforcement.
Yep.
And now we can start adding internal beams, whether it be for is it waffle pod slab? The terminology is
whatever it is. Yep.
Yep. Double click to do that. You can make the whole grid section underneath, or you can do if you just needed to reinforce this bit here, for example, all the way. You don't have to go to there, and you can stop here.
Yep.
Double click to finish it, and you can intersect them all and whatnot.
Yep.
Now if I go back and turn this off, we can then see
there's reinforcement there. Yep.
Reinforcements there. Yep. And again with the transparent.
Can they create materials for that yet and put their own rebar or reinforcement types in?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. Okay, good. That's another big one, guys. Virtual construction. We've been banging on about it for years. I think we're there. Well, we are there, but you know what? You can always add more. You can add a void through everything. Yep. Okay.
And then the reinforcement will offset whatever you entered in before for the offset there as well.
Yep.
That's really good. I think it's a good update, guys. So you guys in the concrete side of things, and I know there's a lot of commercial builders that use the software, this should really take you 10 leaps forwards and save you a shipload of time.
Yep. So it's also been added into, it's not just the slab tool, the footing tool, and also the footings that are drawn in the wall tool.
Hold on, I'll move my head again. Yep, right up.
Include footing.
Yep.
Include reinforcement.
Yep.
I'm just going to just draw one wall. There you can see.
Right.
The footings in there, the reinforcements in there as well. So across the board, wherever there's the slab stuff, we've added it in there.
Yep. All right. So guys, can you just turn the rebar on just so we can have a look at it? Turn your slab off so we can look at it. I'm going to explain something. Guys, it would have crashed your computer, or you would have needed a bloody cyber computer to be able to run it. These are images that actually are representing the rebar. You'll notice if I go to slab Rio, Shift Z, right, it is showing from above. So you can see that. That's kind of all you really need, because we could draw every round little bar, but before you know it, you'll be complaining that the software runs too slow. So that's why that's done that way. Yep. Anything else you want to add to that, Grant?
No, that was all for that.
I want to do takeoff by level and by layer. So we want that starting thing to show up here. Oops, wrong one. Okay, so what I just did, guys, was now when I do a takeoff, and you guys will be probably used to seeing this, it now gives you the opportunity to choose how you want to do your takeoff. So you got visible geometry, disabled, name overrides, and you've got large UI, that changes. But takeoff by level and layer, Grant, have you not got it installed on this computer?
It might not be in this version that I've got installed, no.
Okay, just need to make sure that goes out in the beta. I can't really show you on this computer, but here's what it does. Essentially, when you are putting your own cost codes in, or you want to quantify in a way that you understand, takeoff by cost code makes a huge difference. You will get it in the next beta, and we will make sure it's in, because that's enables you to understand the takeoff in your own way of things that you're naming them to do. It's a huge benefit. Also, the client takeoff is a real cracker as well, because you're going to have a formatted takeoff that you can turn into a quote that you would send to the client, and I think that's a real benefit. It does sync with Zero, guys. Give it a test out, see how you go with it. Is there anything else you want to add to that, Grant?
No, that covers it all.
Door jambs. That's one other thing. Do you want to quickly just show that? Door jambs in your BOQ.
Do I haven't done any doors yet? Door, that one. Door jam.
Okay, just take that wall. Ah, it's an existing wall. Just draw it. Yeah, okay. Do that. You just click W on your keyboard. It makes it easier to edit.
Yeah, I've got it set up. It's just
yeah.
We go with that.
So the reason why that one wasn't going to work, guys, because of remodel.
Doors.
Just search jam. Okay, timber door jam. See the size that Grant put that in, and the height that was set in your header height is now, and it's also figuring out whether it's hung right hand side or hung left hand side. It's an oversight. We didn't have it in there before. Door jams are in there. Is there anything else you need to add to that, Grant?
I think so. That covers it all.
Yeah. Okay. A couple of things for the US guys as well. Decimal places and having 5 or 10 of them was just a pain in the ass. It looked terrible. That's fixed as well, guys. Let us know. If you do want to change a decimal place, you can click on it and go to X amount of decimals that you choose. However, it's just broken it down, so it's just 3 decimal places by default. Makes it look a lot cleaner and easy to use. Grant, is there anything else you want to add? I think that's the main things I had on the list. Besides all the bug fixes and everything else, I think we're at a pretty good spot. And mate, we're at about half an hour, so I might even just cut it short. Say goodbye to everyone, Grunter.
Yep. Catch you guys.
See you guys.